Welcome back to another JK News with me and Steve with a special report. Since the boys aren't going to meet anytime soon, we wouldn't be able to bring this story to you sooner than this. There's obviously this has been going around. Iryna Zarutska was murdered in this is North Carolina where this happened.
Yeah, Charlotte area, right?
Yeah, she's on the train, trying to commute from her job at the pizza place, and just gets senselessly murdered over
She
nothing at
just
all.
sits down. You see the video. We don't want to show it, obviously.
Yeah.
She gets on the train, sits down, takes her phone out, hat on, and then the guy behind her starts to do weird things. He pulls his knife out, stabs her, and then she's left to die alone, basically.
Yeah, so it's obviously a very heinous crime. There's really somehow people have magically found ways to find strongholds to defend
Yes.
the action.
Dividing lines even have
Those are
been thrown
not
down.
sane people.
No, right.
Yeah, this thing shouldn't happen. And if you are willing to look, at least like not see the color for a little bit, it's just a crazy person that should have been either in jail or committed to a mental institution.
Should
and
have
he's
stayed in jail.
and he's
but-
out in society.
Right.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, a lot of the times when people are incarcerated, they are immediately released due to judges.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are saying, why the hell was this guy on the streets at all?
Exactly. Yeah. So
Which
they
I think is like what everyone should be saying, in my
Right.
opinion.
Yeah, he's been arrested a total of 14 times, I believe.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the double digits for sure.
And this feels like very reminiscent of like, I guess when we were in LA, it was very commonplace that a person that committed a really bad crime had a rap sheet that was like a mile long. They've been in and out. They've been, they've been even deemed unfit for trial and
Yep.
then released after that,
And before you guys castigate us too hard, we actually talked to some cops about this, even on JK, and they would say, yeah, the DAs won't do anything about it. They'll release them. So that's disturbing to know that people can be this violent and still be on our streets, or even be temporarily taken off the streets and then returned back to the streets.
Yeah, exactly.
So she wouldn't have been a victim, is the argument, if this guy was put away.
And yeah, and you guys all know by now that she was a refugee fleeing the war in Ukraine, trying to have a better life away from what should have been the greater risk. It should have been the harder place to live. But I guess she underestimated the American justice system and how easily they put criminals back out. And this is something we've been whining about for quite a while. Not saying this is in direct correlation with that coming to fruition, but I think the bigger problem overall is that we have people in society that are not fit to blend into everyday life, yet they have nowhere else to go because the system refuses to hold them or do anything with them.
Even, I guess, this guy's, he had family members who were saying you should incarcerate him, but
Yeah.
they were being ignored.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
how does that happen?
Yeah.
Like, because usually, like, right, they get character witnesses of people who it's like the court wants to hear from people who know this person. Their own families like incarcerate this person. Like, please incarcerate this person.
Yeah, some
Like-
of these people, like if you guys have ever known anybody to be a career criminal, that's not something common, but their own family most of the time is afraid of them.
Correct.
They're afraid of them coming home to
Correct.
that family home and causing problems again. Like that's not, it's not a foreign thought when you see these like documentaries where they really interview the families of like of killers or serial killers or people that are like have done heinous crimes. These families are not in full support of what they're doing. They're not
Exactly.
like, they're not, unless there's a buck to be made from like a GoFundMe or something, which oddly enough, this guy has. I think GoFundMe has shut it down, but it was run by not somebody who even knew him. It's not rare for their own family to feel like they're unsafe around them.
Yeah, man. So ultimately, too, I guess in this situation, I guess one of the things that a lot of people are saying, especially online, and everyone's saying everything, but it's just like for women especially, like when you go somewhere,
Yeah.
like you really have to deal with the consequences of this inaction,
Yeah.
like from government,
Right.
Like more than the guys always will, and
More
I'm
than
not-
the guys, for sure.
I'm not being a red pill guy, dude. Like I'm saying, like that is just a fact. Like that is just how it is. Like the women will always have to deal with the consequences of it more because the guys aren't being targeted. Like this is a very attractive lady who maybe that has nothing to do with why she was killed. Like obviously, right? But
Obviously, yeah.
but the point that I'm making is like some of these women they'll be alone at night, walking around in neighborhoods or something like that, feeling the threat of these people. Like these people shouldn't even be on the streets.
Yeah. You know what I was actually like, at least like this wouldn't be a great thing to be refreshed about at a time like this, but I was happy to see that people weren't flocking to defense of his actions purely because of race. They
Yeah.
weren't like, oh, he's black, I'm black, I need to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
stand up for this guy. No, that community was
I
pretty
agree. It
well.
was awesome.
They were like, get this fool off the
So it's
streets.
common
like,
sense.
yeah, it's not like a thing where you have to worry about the lines being divided and now
No.
it's white versus black.
Right.
Like, it's not. In this case, he's a threat to anybody, no matter the color. Like, that's not a person that you should want in your community, no matter what you have in common.
I've also seen people say like, "Who cares if he's crazy?" It's like, no, he's crazy. Like, what
He's
do you mean,
nuts.
who cares if he's crazy? He's a psychopath.
Yeah. And he really would, like, one of his last crimes was he called 911 to say that there was some force controlling him in
Yeah.
the food or something.
Yeah.
Like, he's
He had
clearly
something
cuckoo.
in his body that
Yeah.
was making him do this. Yeah.
Did you hear, like, there was a leaked phone call with his sister? I don't know if it's, like, been verified as true or false or not, but,
Okay.
yeah, there was a phone call that apparently he had. Let me try to find it. And let me see where I sent it to.
The other thing too, man, it's just so disturbing to see. Like, she got stabbed. She's so confused as to what's going on. She looks around and there's just nobody there to help her. That was very depressing for me, like as a human being.
Yeah, that's hard.
It was, and I don't know that I would have been better in the situation. Like, who the hell knows? I don't really judge those people. It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just hella sad, man.
It's sad, and it was sad because like people at first when they saw angle number one, they were saying that they were like accusing like all the other people of also being black and indifferent, and then
It's insane.
and then it came out later that like no, they were just in shock and they did actually help. It just wasn't seen right away.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like they were like, oh no, as soon as the people really realized, because you can't.
Yeah, I saw
honestly,
that
you
one guy
can't-
jump in at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. It's hard to tell because she balls up and
Yeah.
she's bleeding like into herself.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's just going as a pool where she's sitting, and it may not be clear when lots of weird stuff happens on the train. She couldn't even voice like what had occurred, and but then people really did once they realized it. I mean, your brain goes through a ton of different responses in order to realize what just happened in front of you, even if you saw it plain as day. Like again, like people are really hard on bystanders because you do have to almost have a trained mind in order to
Yeah.
really react. But it is sad to see that nobody could do anything for her.
It's
know.
devastating, dude.
Yeah. But it is one of those things where like I'm aware of what's happening out there. I know it's a big fucking culture war again about black on white statistical crime. And I agree that like every race, like it's obvious, like different races have different crimes that they do more of, and like where people are going to see this and they're going to go, what about all the school shootings that white people do? What about all the molestations within family that white people do? Yeah, there's higher crimes with different races. But I think like no matter what happens, I appreciate when you don't take a default stance in support of a bad action just because you have race in common with somebody.
Which is what was disturbing to me, anyway, about how the news didn't cover this. Like for a while,
Yeah,
the news
it's happened
didn't
for a
touch it.
month.
Exactly. So like this happened. What was it? 5 days ago, something like that. 3 days ago, and the news didn't cover it. You could go basically anywhere in mainstream media, and you wouldn't have seen the story anywhere. And that just blows my brains out. Actually, like surprises me.
Yeah, it is.
Because it doesn't fit whatever narrative they're trying to sell out there. It doesn't fit that, which is disturbing because it's just like, this is a thing that actually happened too. That's what the news is supposed to be. You talk about what happened.
Right.
Like, not like, well, we're very nervous about them raising tensions or anything like that. Brother, tensions are fucking crazy out there already. Like, I guess if you want to make that argument, then you're just going to say, well, we're going to censor things then to make sure that certain things don't get out there. I just think that's not the way to run anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think everybody that's coming out saying that I don't know if it was like CNN or something, had a guy on there talking, and it was a black dude, and he was saying that like, we don't know what this man was going through or how he was hurt people, and we don't know what it's like to find any excuse for something.
Bro.
Like you got to understand, like everybody has to know that there are just people that are off their rocker that just be taking dudes out for no
But
reason at
again,
all.
like, we know that he was incarcerated and was released.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
Like, and that the judge involved was like, no bail, just release him, and that's crazy to me. Like, that's crazy to me.
But then you have people that are trying to be his missing intelligence. They're trying to like make
Right.
it deeper, and they're like trying to think for him and be like, what could he have been going through societally that caused him to do it? It's like he's not doing any of that. This dude's just doing messed up shit.
Right.
Like that exists too.
Right.
And I feel like people are in denial that like until it happens to them, like some stuff is unjustifiable in any means, and I think this is one of those things. I don't think there was any good reason for him to do that. And I'm
It's just clear as a bell. It's like this lady just sits down, gets stabbed, and then there's people going like, "We don't know what he's going through." That just blows my
mind. Yeah,
No,
I don't think going through something is an excuse to kill someone who's innocent that has nothing to do with what you're going through.
Probably not.
Like nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Let's get Joe on the.
Yeah, we're gonna beam Joe in
call.
now.
Yeah, but then you know what though? To be fair, it is a little bit like to say it has nothing to do with race is also unfair because the dude straight up says verbally, "I got
yeah,
the
we
white
should
girl."
mention that too.
He says, "I got that white girl."
Yeah, we should
two
mention
times.
that
He
too.
says as he walks
I
away.
heard it.
You
It's
know?
very, very messed up.
Which is fine if he's living in that own like in his own world where he sees white girls as like a demon.
Right.
That's in his brain. The dude's clearly not.
He shouldn't be on the street.
He shouldn't be on the street, and he also shouldn't be a spokesperson for how you feel.
Yeah,
You
shouldn't.
know what I mean?
Shouldn't have been released on the streets 14 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's crazy though.
Yeah.
I don't know. In this climate, who knows?
Right. Okay, so you haven't heard this clip yet, right?
No.
So there's supposedly there's a leaked phone call of the Iryna's murderer, alleged murderer, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Where he's talking to his sister about what happened. So I'm just gonna play that for you.
So you said something in your body did what?
Nah, the material, put it like this, the material using my body is that place.
So he's blaming a material in his body that's causing him to do this.
Controlling
action.
him.
Yeah.
And so she just got stabbed.
Yeah. You know that's not me. I'm talking about just for no reason. But since they did that, now they gotta investigate the material my body is supposed to. Since they want to do all that, now they gotta investigate.
It's funny because she's from the Ukraine. She's from Russia, and you know they got a war. They had a war going on against the United States. So I'm just trying to understand, out of all people, why her?
It ain't. I don't have nothing. They just lashed out on her. That's what happened. They lashed out on her. Whoever was working the material, whoever was working the material, they lashed out on her.
So he's blaming this material that's taken over his body, and that it took control of him and did that action, and that he's not the one responsible. So I'm pretty sure you don't really need anything else to know this dude's crazy. He's out of his gourd.
And the judge should probably release him without bail. That's what's crazy to me. I can't believe somebody like this is still out there.
And I'm pretty sure his sister misspoke or something, or misunderstood the Russia-Ukraine thing.
Oh, I don't think she knows. I think she's just trying to calm him down. I think she was trying to take his side to calm him down a little bit.
There's some
If I
people
had to
that
guess.
believe that this is like a lawyer-directed thing where they're trying to get him to say that it, like, I guess in order to get a lighter sentence, to try to move it from first degree by her asking these key questions that might get an answer that makes him seem less responsible in a way.
That makes
That's been said. I don't know if that's true.
I think she did the right thing by trying to calm him down a little bit. Like that's what I would have done anyway. Like in this situation, just because you're trying to get as much information as you can. I think that's what she's doing. I have no idea though.
Yeah, I guess I'm sure that was probably from his his phone call after he's been arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think even just hearing that, you can tell it's not. I think maybe to take away the hate crime aspect of the charge,
Right.
they're trying to move more towards I'm just nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Because him performing this act, walking away and saying I got the white girl, that's really all you need to get a hate crime. Is like some kind of like racial
motivation.
Yeah, racial motivation. And
that I think is pretty clear cut. But then if he's talking to fucking Xenu or some shit, like I don't know.
Yeah, right. If he's if he's being controlled by an outside force and then he seems like he's not fit to stand trial.
Look,
he was already under investigation for not being unfit for his last trial.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever puts the cat away, sign me up. But
Yeah,
but no, I do think that people are justified because I don't know. I saw people on mainstream media just say that this isn't a hate crime. How do we know that? And like you said, he literally is on audio
he's
saying,
literally saying it.
"I got the white girl. I got her."
Yeah, right.
So it's like, yeah, I think we got that. It's good.
Right.
But he's also nuts.
He's also nuts. Yeah, I think that
Both
should take.
can happen at the same time.
That's a good. I didn't think about it that way, but I just figured if you're crazy, then that takes precedence over all the reasons for your actions because you're just cuckoo.
Yeah.
But I guess crazy people can be racist and act on
You know?
it too. You know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And the way he deliberately sees her sit down and then kind kind of starts planning his attack.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this guy just doesn't belong on anywhere. Like, this guy should be put away forever.
Yeah. And it's just sad to see somebody that, like, like the way Trump talked about her was kind of a little funny when he said she's never had a problem in the world.
Right.
And it's like, I'm sure that's maybe not literal what he
Yeah,
meant.
yeah,
He probably
yeah.
meant she didn't make trouble for anybody.
Right,
Which
right.
I think is like a fair assessment for somebody who, shouldn't be killed. I mean, if she never caused problems for anybody and she was living her life trying to make it, those are the people that you hate to see go down randomly, because I think those are the people that we relate to most, and where, like, you're not out there trying to hurt somebody. You're not out there trying to randomly kill anybody, and then you get taken out with no reason whatsoever. That's got to be harsh, because there's a lot of worse people in the world that, could run into this fate, but don't. And then there are people who are just good citizens, or just in society going about their, they're NPCs in a way. They're not like trying to hurt you or change your life. They're just trying to survive. And it's just bad luck.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Harper Lee quote where Atticus Finch and To Kill a Mockingbird's talking about it's a sin to kill a mockingbird because all they do is sing for people. Like, they don't do anything wrong. Like, you get a gun, you're an excited little kid, you shoot a mockingbird, like, that's a sin because they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's apt here.
Yeah, and it's not that, like, we're gonna go dig in her life and try to find a reason that she should have been. It's not about that. It's just about, this is supposed to be default society where you should be safe doing something like riding a train or going to and from work. It shouldn't be a concern of yours as just a normal person that you should see somebody and think like, oh, that guy looks like someone I shouldn't sit in front of.
Yeah, and by the way, we think this about, like, everybody, like, not just this story. So, like, I can't wait for people to hit us with, like, did you hear about this person who got attacked in the train station? And it's like, we don't like that too.
Yeah.
Actually, can you believe that?
Yeah.
We don't like that too.
I don't want this to happen to anybody at any time.
Yeah, we don't like that to happen. Actually.
Yeah. But then it is funny when people are like, you can't really victim blame in this sense. Some people are like, well, racist ass people are like, well, she should have known if everybody there was black. She shouldn't have been on that train. Like, what do you want her to do?
Right. She didn't even look around. She got on the train, sat down.
Yeah. Is that what you want us to live with? You want us to live with this concern that, like, oh, that's the wrong train to be on? I don't think that should happen no matter what. But again, like, we live in a really weird, cruel world. And
we live in a world where everyone supposes everything. I also see people, dude, and this really isn't that related, but people, I know people from Europe and stuff because I'm a very cultured man of the world. And people from there always say, like, wow, do you guys just see people having guns all the time? And I'm like, no, we don't. Like, no. The answer is no. But they don't know that. They think that we just, like, see people brandishing guns all the time and just going pew, pew, pew. We don't see that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't, because we don't hang around that.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm sure, like, if you're the type of person going to takeovers and shit, like, your world is a little bit different than ours.
Amen.
For sure. But
for sure.
Again, that's the reason why we're taught at a earlier age that, like, it's about where you are, what you're doing. If you're just hanging around at bad places at the worst time of night, you're at a higher risk.
Yeah.
This I don't feel is fair, because that's part of her commute.
Yeah,
she's not kicking
home.
it around gangsters. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just a normal everyday person getting taken out unjustly. But, all these people in retrospect are thinking she could have done something different, whereas it shouldn't have even been something to be
It's just
scared of.
unfair, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get Joe in here real quick.
All right.
What did you guys cover?
So we pretty much just covered the facts about what happened to Iryna when she got on the train and literally did nothing wrong and got killed over it. Just being in the wrong
saw
place
the
in front of the wrong
video.
person, yeah.
Did you guys see the full unedited video?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's really unfortunate, and
Yeah.
I kind of wish I didn't see it, but
Me too.
Man, I don't know. I kind of feel bad for, like, the bystanders, because this is what always happens. Like, when people watch it, they'd be like, oh, how could they not do anything?
Yeah.
How could they? Like, I'm like, yeah, but people will always be like, dude, if I was there, I would have fucking saved the day, or, like, I would have came into the rescue. But I'm like, when you grow up in a rough area too, you kind of just, like, learn how to preserve yourself, which is not good, but it's kind of like this weird, like, and you gotta be like, you gotta give grace to the people that are scared. Like, they're scared, what the fuck? And you're not in their shoes. You want them to come up and, like, fight the dude. You want them to come and play rescue. I do think it's kind of bad though that they started recording her. That was crazy. That was the weirdest thing. But yeah, other people that were just scared that they didn't know what to do, like they're probably getting shit right now. But in general, I think like where the fuck is what's society coming to really where they do this and people like aren't really like trying to get
They're
any
numb to it.
justice.
Yeah, they're numb to it a little bit.
Yeah. A similar incident happened in I think a guy was like at a laundromat and he was just washing clothes and these two dudes were in there with them and one guy was like watch this and then he stabbed the shit out of him just for fun.
I saw that video. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The guy that was just sleeping on the table,
Yeah.
waiting for his laundry. He literally was just doing his laundry, waiting for it. Had his head down like this.
Oh
And then
my
these two
God.
guys were just bored, and they just stabbed him for no reason.
Jesus. And he
Yeah.
died?
He died. Yeah.
Oh.
But
So
that
there's
didn't
just a
go.
lot
That didn't
of,
really go
like,
on the news.
mentally unstable people
Yeah.
just loose. They're just loose. Man, it's crazy.
And that's the thing I was saying too, Joe, is like I know that when people see the photo right away they want to go to race, but I'm like, fine, if you want to go there, I'm not saying that you're right or wrong, but I just hope people will put crazy first.
Yeah.
Because I think crazy is really what it's about, and the fact that we as a society are not being protected from crazy, at least anymore. Like there's no more
And
institutions.
the courts aren't doing their jobs in holding these people. Like we shouldn't, this woman should never have been killed because this guy was already like, should have been incarcerated multiple times, over 10 times.
How many priors that he had?
I think it was
Like,
14.
like a mugshot?
He's
It was
got
a huge mugshot,
it's
yeah.
14 total.
Damn.
And that's to say, like, if you've been arrested 14 times, that's safe to assume.
The system is failing
Yeah.
if you're still on the street after that.
And there
right?
must
Like,
be other things you didn't get caught for.
Exactly
If
right.
you're that many times
Right.
getting caught.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I
So
think
the
it's
system
one of those
failed her
things
for
where-
sure. The system
Yeah,
failed
the
her.
system failed her 100%.
You know how like the pendulum is swinging so hard, right? So when we were growing up, a lot of the times they would kind of like describe the the perp as like he was an Asian male or a black male or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the terminology would be different if it was like a white male in his youth or something, right? And then so now they want to do it like the complete opposite, where it's like we don't say color, we don't say anything, but then now you don't even know who you're looking for. It's kind of like this weird like we were so off this way, so now we have to go this way. And
Overcorrection.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like overcorrection.
Yeah.
But I do think it's like with the wrongful incarceration and all the issues that kind of stained us in the past. Now it's almost like they're trying to correct it, but in the wrong way, where you're just letting everybody loose, and then you're thinking that everything's going to be okay, and that's completely the wrong way to approach crime. And this was happening during COVID too. Remember when a lot of like mentally disturbed people were beating up Asians,
Oh yeah.
and it almost became like a black versus Asian issue, but it really wasn't like sensible people of the black community beating up Asians.
Right. It's not.
It was
Yeah.
just-
It's not like a church youth group leader was socking an Asian guy.
It's
Yeah.
just wackos.
Yeah.
No, it was it's like guys that should have been in jail. They had like 5 times, or like guys that were just absolutely off the rails, like talking to themselves, thinking that this grandma was a demon.
Legit.
And like and then I think things like that, it's like, yeah, we have a crime problem and a mental health problem, but no one's actually doing anything about it.
Yeah. And that's where.
And they're making it about race.
Yeah, and that's where I think like I'm always the type of person nowadays, especially having learned so much from like you guys, like the first person to look at is always your government in situations like this, because I feel like they just can't. This is my, I don't know if I'm conspiracy braining, but I don't think they can monetize as well off of crazy people that have no one in their lives.
Monetize how?
The way that you can monetize prisoners.
Oh right.
I
Yeah,
don't think there's
private
anywhere to
prisons, all
put
that.
them.
Yeah,
There's nowhere to put them
yeah.
that they can gain from
Yeah.
having them incarcerated. So they let them go because there's
Yeah.
no money
Interesting.
to be made. No one's gonna come by paying for a bail. No one will come for these people. They have been completely excommunicated from their homes and families. They're totally separated.
Right.
There's nobody there to pick up a tab. So why even bother?
Yeah.
Like how they close all the mental institutions, like stuff like that.
Yeah, well, they closed all the mental institutions, and then they also gave a shitload of money to California homelessness or whatever. All these different states have homeless programs, where people who work there get rich, and the homeless stay on the streets.
Yeah.
Like it's a very, very messed up situation.
And I think there's more money to be made for them being on the street and doing all of these outreach programs and NGOs to like get funding than it is to have them in jail.
Ryan, I want to hire you. I want to hire you to do a job, and I need you to do a good job at this job. But then I need, if you want to keep the job, the problem has to persist.
Yeah, right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has to be worse next year because funding will go up.
That's it,
Gavin
man.
Newsom, how many billions is he in on that
It's
homelessness program? It's like his 10-year anniversary of it, or 24-year anniversary, something.
It's insane.
Yeah, and I think that the issue is people call it a homeless problem, but it's really like a mental health.
It's a
and
mental
drug
health
that's
problem.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, they're on drugs and they don't want to get off of it, and it's an addiction problem. Because most people that are temporarily homeless, like they want to get back on their feet, they want a job, they want to get back into society. But like also if they're schizophrenic or whatever, they're not capable of having a job. Like they need to be, you know, we need to find a way to get them some help. But if there's no institutions, like we don't have asylums and shit like that, where are they gonna go? They're just gonna go on the street. And one day they're gonna think they're talking to the devil and they need to stop the devil.
Yeah.
And it just so happens to be like a teenager or something.
Yeah,
It's
just
it's
someone
crazy,
innocent,
man.
yeah.
Dude, I was on a subway in LA, and this guy was just he's a crazy homeless guy. Just talked to me about I got stuck one day, sat in the wrong seat and I got stuck. And he's telling me about how he's like the Hitler reborn or whatever. And I'm like, that's tight, dude. Hell yeah, that's lit. Like, what am I gonna say?
Yeah.
Like, just like I gotta get the hell out of here, right?
Yeah, we're like desensitized to it. too.
Yeah, no, legit. We're used to it.
And it's weird that like I think you can only go so far into the deep end until you're stuck in a point of no return, which a lot of these guys are, unfortunately. I think a lot of them are beyond help. And it's sad to say, you can be in this rut for so long until you snap. And I think once people snap, it's the same answer and they get stuck in a loop of being someone else's problem, and the government is just like, we'll just, let you circulate in your own filth until something really bad happens.
You oftentimes hit the streets when you have betrayed your family so hard due to addiction and stuff like that that they kick you out and there's nowhere to go, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. And you know what sucks to me is that like the more you travel and the more you realize how safe other countries are, and I'm just like, damn, dude, like why can't we have nice things sometimes? If we're the richest country in the world and all that, and I fucking want everything here to be so much better. But then it's so hard to feel like there is like a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to a lot of our cities and how like the crime is just insane. And then how here, if you find an affordable place, it doesn't mean it's because things are run down or a little bit like older. It's because it's dangerous. We have to pay for safety.
Yeah.
We're paying for like a middle class life that maybe is away from crime. We have to pay for the premium. Whereas other countries, it's like, oh, well, your apartment isn't as nice. That's why it's a little bit cheaper. But you don't have to worry about a crackhead biting you, And I think that's just what sucks. And I don't know what the answer is to like solve that issue.
Yeah, I mean that's the hardest thing to answer. I mean that's the reason why even people that are in those neighborhoods, when they strike it rich or they get big, they leave. They get out of there because even they're in danger of that own climate. Like the people that are within proximity of it would rather not be, but they under circumstances they have to be.
I also think too, like due to medical misinformation and stuff like that, people don't know that when a crackhead bites you, you become a crackhead.
Yeah. They got to be careful.
It's just the messed up thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, people got to watch out for
You
that.
got to look out for that.
Crackheads to begin with, so that's why they don't turn into one.
For sure.
Yeah,
dude.
somewhere underground there's like a main crackhead that turns everybody. Is that what you're
the
thinking?
mothership.
Yeah,
Crackhead,
the mothership. Yeah. That's the one thing that like, rather than this, I think it's too easy to make this a race thing because it lets the government off the hook.
Exactly.
And
man.
I don't like that anymore. And I think like when you just say, oh, it's just black on white, like you're playing into their
Yep.
freaking hands,
Yep.
man. You're
Yep.
letting the government
Yep.
go free from everything that they caused. Like, they did this to us, man. They're the ones that are like, no, you guys deal with it, and we'll just collect the money as if
The
we are.
CIA tested AIDS on the African American population. Like, that happened. Those documents are out there. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't look
Yeah.
at this and go like, oh well, you know, they're on our side. Like, no. That is the opposite of the truth.
Yeah. So that's why, like,
Well, it's, for me, I'm like, hey, if I'm gonna work 4 to 5 months out of the year, like if you think about if your taxes, right, 30 to 40% of your taxes, like out of the year, is given to the government. That means like at least 4 months of your time, you're working for free to give to the government, right? And I don't think people really realize that because I'm like, if I'm giving my hours and life and time away, I want safety. I want basics. Like, I'm not getting any of that. If I go to LA right now and walk around at midnight, dude, like it's not a safe place to be. But I don't think it should be like that. Like LA is like one of the richest cities in the world. And then it shouldn't feel like what the hell's happening? Like we spend so much money, where is it going?
But hella people would lecture you in the comments right now and say like, why are you out at midnight in LA?
yeah.
Like, we just have it all backwards now. We
Yeah.
flipped it all. We're so used to it, you know. We're so numb to it.
We
Yeah.
did get used to it, yeah. Yeah, you get used to it all the
Yeah.
time, and you think it's your own fault for getting mugged sometimes.
Right.
No, right? That's like why are you dressing so hot?
Yeah.
Deserve being mugged.
Right. Yeah, it's like, you know, even, you know, I've seen it shared everywhere. It's like guys with Rolexes in LA getting their hands chopped off for their it's crazy, man.
You showing off.
Yeah, right. It's like,
Why?
and you always see that in the comments. Why are you showing off? But it's like, bro, why is this guy getting his hand chopped off actually at a diner in the middle of, you know, what are you doing?
Yeah. Why is it that I can go to a way like poor country and feel way safer, and they have decency and they have.
Well, you're also richer than everyone in the country when you go there. You're also the richest guy there when you go
You're the
there.
richest guy there, yeah.
You're the king.
Facts.
$30 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lit.
Yeah, I definitely think this is one of those examples where like everybody wants to be so mad about a very specific thing, but I don't think there is a lot of people like blaming the government and blaming the court system and everything, and I think that's really where everyone's mind should be, because
I hope so.
you just can't stop this from happening yourself, because you can't be everywhere. You can't always be living like that, like thinking I got to sit in front of the right person on this train. It's just not possible to do that. But it's possible for the government to implement policies where people who end up there don't just easily get released.
Exactly. And that would make everyone feel safer, right? Everybody. Like knowing that they're actually doing something about the people who are committing crimes and they're staying incarcerated and not necessarily being released cash, like oh, no more cash bail. Like, that's good, I guess. Like, this guy killed a lady because of that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just a wild time we're living in, because I never thought there'd be a time where people would be like, "Oh, we should let the criminals go."
Yeah, me neither. I didn't.
I don't think those people are in the majority, though. I really don't.
Yeah, but they're getting these policies passed, right? So the ideology is strong enough to where they're the people who are passing them, they're representing the people that want those things.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt.
well, it's just like Aram Cho told us, the lieutenant guy who came by. Basically, if you think like criminals should have it easier, you're basically helping the politicians, because that helps pad their stats for their time in office. So then they're able to report crime went down. Yeah, they're able to say, "Oh, look at this.
Totally.
When I was in office, crime went down."
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, because you got a DA that you told don't prosecute."
Yeah.
Like that's the same thing as crime being down. That's why people are getting tired of being told that crime is at an all-time low. They're being sick of being told
Yeah.
that, because that's not what they see. That's not what they live. But
Well,
the stats are just bogus.
A little bit unrelated, but it's not different than the economy. All of a sudden, 3 days ago, they go, oopsie daisies, there's 900,000 less jobs actually that were created than we thought a year ago. Sorry about that.
Damn, that happened.
Same idea. Yeah, just got revised. Most massive revision in history. But same exact idea. It protects somebody's job, right?
Yeah.
It helps somebody be a scumbag somewhere.
Right. I feel like in the age that we're able to film so much of this shit ourselves, I feel like how can crime be down when we have that much like websites that run on crime footage are at an all-time boom.
Oh,
like
yeah, dude.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's just so much evidence of it happening everywhere all the time that like to just sit there and be told by a politician that, oh no, you're wrong actually. You're actually living in the safest time of your life.
Oh my God.
It's just
That reminds me of the year when I remember the administration at the time was saying that the drone program is the best that they've ever done because they had no casualties and they just weren't reporting them. That's all it was. They just weren't
Wow.
reporting them anymore. That was a policy from the top on down. We don't report civilian casualties anymore. We call them enemy combatants. We reclassify. That's it.
Damn.
So yeah, same idea.
Yeah, same idea. Yeah, it's the people that create these stats for you to look at. That's
To
you assuming
justify
they're totally truthful.
A belief, exactly.
Yeah.
To justify a belief.
And they win by the stats being the
Yep,
way they want. That
yep.
doesn't make sense to
Makes
me. Like,
everyone
I
feel
get
much
it.
better. I
Yeah.
feel much better. Oh, I feel so much better.
Yeah, no. That's why I think, like, man, above anything, before you see race, class, whatever, if a dude's crazy, it's almost like the rules don't apply. Like,
Right.
this guy's not living
Yeah.
by any type of self-governance that is that's livable. Like, you just can't deal with that. You won't win against a guy that's nuts.
No.
Yeah. But you know what's sad though is that I think like the most digestible thing makes it the most popular thing.
That's
right?
true, yeah.
Like when people go, oh yeah, like it's a crazy black guy that hates white people. Because at the end he's like, yeah, I got that white girl. So now it becomes a race issue, right?
Yeah, he
And
did
then
say
they just
that.
keep focusing and focusing and focusing on that, and then like I think for a lot of people, that's much easier kind of thing to understand than like, oh, it's the government that isn't doing their job correctly and allowing this kind of shit to go down.
Exactly
Yeah.
right.
But that's also not what the mainstream media will allow to be reported.
Correct.
They won't allow a report to say that the government failed this many times and that's the reason why. Like, no, they're
Yeah.
going to want people
Which I
to.
want independent media and everyone to focus on. And
Yeah.
I want to have smarter conversations, and I want to have like us focusing on the point because I actually want like solutions and resolve rather than like scapegoats and nothing being solved. So I think if indie media like us, like if we get together and we just keep pushing the like focus on what really matters, then I think they'll be forced to change it.
If you want a scapegoat that will never get resolved, keep making it about race
Yeah.
all day long. Make it like, hey, this is a black guy who wanted to kill a white person, and that's all it's about. And what can you pass based off that? What law can you pass? What can you do about that?
Right.
Like,
There's
you know what I mean?
nothing-
Like, there's nothing. It's, just,
You're washing the government's hands for them.
it's
Basically.
feelings, exactly. So you're just making everyone focus on feelings instead of focus on how to do something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's the same when people go, "Oh, I wish you would come with that energy for school shooters." It's like that energy is even bigger. That's like
my God.
those people are even crazier than
Right,
this guy.
right.
Like they're even more out of the fucking world. Like, yeah,
100%.
they shouldn't even with no priors. Like if
They're like, I just want to shoot a bunch of kids today. Like, those
Yeah,
people are nuts.
that's totally nuts.
Yeah.
Of course, those people
Yeah.
should never even see the light of day.
Right.
But then again, like if they don't have any priors, how do you know that they're
No,
even
those
there?
people are always like invisible.
How do you
dude.
know they exist? Because a lot of the time they're loners. They have
Yeah.
like no friends. They don't, and the people that do know them avoid them.
Right.
They have, but then at the same time, what people also don't want the FBI looking at all of your posts to see if you are crazy.
No.
Because that is a suggestion that they had where the government's like, what if we just like use this to gain access to everybody's stuff? So don't put it past the government that they won't use that to get
Right.
even more access.
I mean, the best thing you could do is if you find out people in your area are playing Magic the Gathering, you should probably call the cops.
Yeah, if they're
You
if they're
should swap all of those
if they're
out.
repeatedly playing Pot of Greed.
Yeah. Call the cops on that.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
there
those-
are signs, but again, those are
some
social
bleed.
signs.
There's some bleed.
Yeah, that's the
saying.
hard part, and that's the reason why I think school shootings that's hard to catch because these aren't people that have done like small crimes leading up to it all the time. Sometimes they're just people that have been quiet their whole lives and they snap.
Oh, legit.
But there's nowhere for them to go when they do snap.
No.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
There's nobody to take them. There's nothing.
They always go to their uncle's gun closet. Like, that's the only place to go. Like,
Yeah.
And by the way, why does every uncle have a damn gun closet?
And it's also bad parenting and bad household
Yeah,
keeping.
dude, it's crazy.
Like you got to be an idiot to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely all bad. We don't think one thing is worse than the
No.
other, but for sure, school shootings. That's objectively there's no good in that. There's no whatever energy comes for this guy. who killed Iryna. Yeah, like apply that to everything. That's terrible. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
what do you think, Joe? What do you think about Trump calling for the death penalty for the killer?
Oh, I think the death penalty is a tricky kind of law, right? Like, because there has been errors in the past. Well, this one's is pretty beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
It keeps the guy in there,
Yeah.
right?
Agreed.
And my personal feelings is like, dude, like 14 times convicted, that's more than enough. It used to be a 3-strike felony here
Oh,
in
yeah.
California where you have life in prison.
Yeah.
And in Texas, I think it was you get the death sentence. Well, I don't know. You get that in Texas. You don't get it in California.
Yeah.
Jamalian law states that
Here we go.
cruel and unusual punishment is wonderful.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think he should be in a little train while a bunch of Ukrainians pop up and start stabbing him in the knee.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
Whatever they come down to at the result for what happens to this guy, I just hope so badly that there's some kind of punishment for the justice system in that area that he
Me
was
too.
in.
No, the judges who allowed him to go free.
'Cause
I
there's,
want some accountability.
magistrates that didn't even have law degrees.
I want accountability.
Was
I
it
want
something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
That they just needed to be
That's
interviewed.
crazy.
No, there was a woman who didn't even have she never even passed the bar or anything like that.
Yeah.
She's a judge. She's sitting
How
there.
did she?
We don't. She was appointed. So
Yeah, what I read, it was like in that particular system that they have, the magistrates just need to be voted on and appointed,
Yeah.
and apparently through maybe some form of nepotism or a homie hookup, she got that position.
That is. I didn't even know that's even.
I didn't
It's
either.
no different than usual government administrative appointments.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
It's the same exact idea.
Yeah.
And it's just as disappointing.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know that you could be a judge and like sentence people without those qualifications. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm sure they were counting on people never looking that deep into it too. But here we are.
Wherever this place is, I want to be a judge.
That's looking on the bright side, Joe. I love that about you. Always did.
Gotta stay optimistic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, it's really hard to be positive, though. To be honest, like this girl came from a war-torn country,
Yeah.
and hopes of a new life. And then like it was more unsafe in America, and it would
That's
have
the
been
funny
safer
part,
for her to stay in Ukraine and dodge bullets. Can you like?
It's crazy.
wrap
It's sad,
your head
man.
around
It's
that?
just
That's
sad.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So that's we're more unsafe than a war zone, and I really feel bad. It's just crazy. Like she's super young, and she had a whole life ahead of her, and it was just taken away like that.
So
My
I get
condolences.
me too, man. So I guess what isn't safe is that Cody Rhodes is going to be at WrestlePalooza. What do you think about that? Does that change the whole game for you, Joe?
No.
Okay.
Thanks for answering.
Thanks for giving us a clean answer. Bart dodged that, by the way. He completely dodged it, ducked it. Yeah, he's too much of a pussy to
you
answer.
got Mark to beam in?
No, we're good. We're good.
No, he refused to join for this.
Yeah,
one.
he refuses.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
He's helping Taka do math homework or some
Yeah.
shit. So,
He's busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right, later, brother.
Thanks, man.
All right.
This is out.
Thank you.
Later.
Peace.
Personally, again, these are our takes. I don't think you should be influenced by them in any way if you feel very differently. But I feel like he shouldn't have even been there. I don't think there's
Same.
anything Iryna deserved to do differently. I don't think she should have lived her life seeing black guys differently. I don't think that would have helped her. I think people that commit crimes and that are deemed to be a risk to society just plain shouldn't be allowed there. And maybe you might have a different opinion that would be helpful for me to see. So if you want to,
No, I saw people on Twitter say if only she had been a racist, she wouldn't have sat there, which is just insane. So you go through life just ping ponging your way around,
Yeah.
making sure you're not around a certain type of person. Like I just don't know how you get there. In your
And
brain.
again, like if you want to judge just by that scenario and say that, it's probably true there, but you don't know how someone's whole entire life is going to go if they're just
how do you
racist.
live like that?
Yeah,
How do you
that's
live
what I'm saying.
like that?
It's
I
like,
don't
yeah,
know how you live like that.
that's unfortunate, but also please remember that if a crazy black dude is on a train, he is a risk to all people even nice black people don't want to sit in front of that guy
dude,
if they know he's
Jesus.
crazy. It doesn't mean like oh, the whole entire race as a monolith is now a risk.
No, man.
There's people that the government and the justice system can tell you is crazy, and they can tell you they're a risk, but they refuse to do enough about it. That's where your outrage should lie. So hopefully you guys can see a little bit of our point and adopt slightly a little bit of that sentiment, because I feel like with everything that happens of this nature, the wool is going to be pulled over your eyes so fast by everything around you. The last thing you're going to do is remember to blame the government, and that's exactly what I feel like this is.
And Cody Rhodes at WrestlePalooza, this is not the time. This is not the time. It's too much heat. That just came across the wire. Cody Rhodes at WrestlePalooza. That's gonna be
Should
great.
we call Anthony and just bait him into this?
We should. Yo! He'll just be like, yo! He'll be so excited. I'm like, hey, this is about Iryna. And he'll be like, oh. He'll immediately clean it up too. He'll be like, oh.
God, dude, that sucks.
That sucks.
All right.